Can y'all hear us out there? Dang, guys, we sold it out. Can you believe it? Thank y'all so much for coming.
I'm Sarah McCombie.
I'm Austin McCombie.
We are Chatham Rabbits. You know, some couples may play a sport together or like enjoy traveling, and our thing just happens to be music.
We are a husband and wife duo. We play folk music primarily with a heavy nod to traditional music. Sarah plays clawhammer banjo and I play guitar, as well as a little bit of fiddle every now and then.
We play original music inspired by old-time traditions.
And our home is here in Bynum, North Carolina. Whenever we start singing is when she really starts, she fades. But the banjo especially.
She's the perfect dog for me. The bugle boy was my husband's best friend.
We have recently quit our corporate jobs to pursue our dream of playing music full-time.
So before we were full-time musicians as Chatham Rabbits, I was a Montessori music teacher at a school in Durham, and Austin was a financial advisor. It's okay. Beds on the hill, they saw the boys' good time. This time in our life was the perfect opportunity to take a risk and to try something different. Just a child swinging on.
So we're really excited to be giving that a shot together, and we're recording our debut album right now and just excited to hit the road. We have an old RV that we've been restoring. It's a 1986 Winnebago Minnie Winnie.
We found it on Craigslist a little while back, and we've been renovating it so we can use it as our tour vehicle. Another part of the Chatham Rabbits saga is that we have a dog and a cat that we cannot part with. So many of our musician friends have said, it's gonna be impossible. How are you gonna be musicians with your dog and your cat? But we cannot leave Ruby and Biscuit behind. Although we are making the transition to sell our house to allow us to be full-time musicians, we still have high hopes to stay in Bynum in Chatham County. We just love it here. This house was built in 1910 by the Bynum Mill.
So the name Chatham Rabbits is interesting. A lot of people ask us how we got that name. One, we found out that Chatham County used to be the #1 county in the U.S. for meat rabbit production, of all things.
There was a band that was sponsored by the mill, and they were called the Chatham Rabbits.
Our house, it was originally occupied by Moselle Riddle and her husband.
And here, with the hat on in the picture, that was her husband, Susie Randolph Riddle.
And he was the guitar player and one of the main members of the original Chatham Rabbits string band. Was it just me? The people of Bynum sort of elected that name for us. We felt really honored to be able to carry on that name in the tradition of string band music.
Well, we can stick it on the end. What tune are you going to do?
Chattanooga.
Chattanooga. Oh, cool.
Yeah.
So we've been working on our album. It's entitled All I Want From You. We've been recording it at Rubber Room Studios in Chapel Hill. 1, 2, 3. Jerry Brown is the owner and engineer of Rubber Room Studios. Jerry has worked with so many people, from Doc Watson to the Carolina Chocolate Drops, Deep Canyon Rangers, and of course Mandolin Orange, and he really has his finger on the pulse of roots music in North Carolina.
you know, it's kind of my kind of music. So, and they do a great job of it. So it was interesting to me. And as songwriters, you know, fueled this on up because they're definitely in the big leagues of songwriters too, which always makes the project a lot more interesting.
And you get to know each other really well when you write music together because it's a pretty vulnerable thing to do. This is crazy how we met. But we were going to Cat's Cradle actually to see Mandolin Orange, and I had no idea who Sarah was at the time or her band that she was in, the South Carolina Broadcasters. As soon as Sarah walked out with her banjo, they were opening for Mandolin Orange. I was like, whoa, that's pretty cool. And so I remember I looked at my buddy and I was like, dude, I'm definitely gonna have to go on a date with that girl. But a year later, we went on our first date, and I'm really nervous because I'm thinking that she's this really cool, like, musician girl, probably super hipster. She walks up and she looks at me sitting on the bench and she goes, and I was like, okay.
Okay, this is
actually not. This is not as scary as I thought it was gonna be. Became best friends and got married, and it's just kind of crazy because that show, you know, it was a Mandolin Orange show, and here it is years later, and we're married, and Andrew's on the record, and we've built a friendship with them, and they're just great people, and it's been wild how things just come full circle like that. In my opinion, one of the biggest achievements as a young band, or for any band for that matter, is to build fans that will come out and see us and enjoy our music.
If I could look in a crystal ball and envision what our future will be like 20, 30 plus years from now, that's the ultimate dream goal for me, is just to make a living and a life out of playing music.